What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this one, we have why I left the Netherlands after 7 years. Before we dive into this one, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and let's get right to it.
7 years in the Netherlands. Peace, adventure, happiness. I built a life. I found myself. I felt at home. But then everything changed.
After
And now
7 years?
I'm back in California.
Really?
And in this video,
He seemed to be so happy in the Netherlands. Like, I'm intrigued, and I know he's about to tell us, but like if his visa ran out or what happened, because he did seem very happy in the Netherlands.
I'd like to share with you why I left, what's next for me, and the future of this channel. But first, let me tell you a quick story of how I ended up in the Netherlands. Let's go back 7 years.
So I didn't leave America to escape America. I left because I was curious about the world, and I was curious about Europe. Back in university, I studied abroad in Spain, and I always met Europeans on my travels who told me about a different way of life. One where time was valued more than money. So I wrote down in my journal, one day I want to work and live abroad in Europe.
And you know, I graduated from university, started working, and kind of forgot about this dream until my late 20s. Maybe it's because I saw the big 3-0 coming. I also felt stuck in my life and career. A lot of my friends were starting to settle down.
I feel that.
I also felt the pressure to settle down as well. But I thought, not yet. And then I remembered this dream.
One day I want to work and live abroad in Europe.
And I kind of felt like it was now or never. So
I love that he went for it. Like, he remembered that he had this dream, and like he had almost gave up. Like, he was close to giving up on it. He was close to not following through with it. But at the end of the day, he remembered and he stuck to it.
I started applying for jobs in Europe, and I almost ended up in Helsinki, but that didn't work out. And then this dream job came to me in London. I applied, got to the final round, but I didn't get it.
Fine.
At that point, I almost decided to give up. But then I learned that I could study abroad in Europe and get a master's, and that would be my gateway into Europe. And so the Netherlands came up. They have a bunch of programs in English. The Dutch speak amazing English. They're known for being welcoming, and finding a job would be easier afterwards because there's so many international companies.
That
And
makes
plus,
sense.
it's a lot cheaper than American education. So I
$100,000 cheaper. Jeez,
applied and I got accepted into a program in the south of the country in a tiny city called Maastricht. I didn't know much about Maastricht, but I watched a YouTube video and it seemed like a very cute and charming town to study in. So
Okay.
I said yes. And I ended up loving living in Maastricht, and I ended up loving what I
Dang.
studied. And after that, I found
He said he was almost 30 in that. He didn't look like it. He looked very young.
job up north and moved to Amsterdam. And then COVID.
It was hard. New city, new job, new everything. And I didn't really know anyone.
That's definitely.
Luckily, I live right next to the canals. And it was a magical time to be there.
I also ended up loving my work and finally found a profession that I really enjoy, that fulfills me. I started making friends, great friends, and then slowly but surely I started really enjoying life in the Netherlands.
I love that.
And then 2024 happened.
It was the hardest year of my life. It started off with getting laid off. And then more life happened.
Now, I won't say too much to keep my private life private, but I will say that There was an emergency back home last year that turned my life upside down. And so I had to travel back and forth between the US and Europe. And life happens, things happen, values change, priorities change. And for me, family is everything.
Yeah.
And so I made the decision for now to come back to California.
So, what are my plans? To be honest, I don't know. There's a part of me that feels behind in life, especially being in a place like San Francisco. San Francisco is home, always has been home, and I love it.
Yeah.
And I miss the energy here, but sometimes it can be overwhelming, especially when people keep asking you, what do you do? What are your plans?
Yeah.
And then I have to
And
remind
I can imagine that reverse culture shock is probably insane after coming from the Netherlands and you absolutely learn to love what you do, learn to love your life in the Netherlands, then having to come back to the US and San Francisco and it's just a completely different culture again. And it's like it's a shock to the system. But he said for circumstances, family circumstances and such, he had to come back to the US.
myself, you had the hardest year of your life last year. Just chill out. Just Nixon.
Mm.
But one thing is for sure, I will spend time reconnecting with family, friends, the city, myself. Probably get back into work. And the work that I do is coaching, facilitation, training.
Hmm.
But one thing that I am curious about is who am I now? Because living in the Netherlands changed me. And I'm curious, even though I'm not living in the Netherlands anymore, can I bring the Dutch back with me? And I mean the Dutch mentality. For example, will I be more direct in my communication here? Will I retain the work to live mentality? Will I continue riding my bike? How will I integrate my learnings? I
Mm.
don't know,
Yeah.
but I want to find out.
So, what's next for
If
this
he can
channel?
kind of take what he learned over in the Netherlands and apply it here in the US, again, said, don't know if it'll work because completely different cultures. Don't know if that same mindset in the Netherlands will work here in the US. You probably ain't gonna be able to ride that bike much. I'll tell you that right now. You might. I don't know about. I've never been to San Francisco, but I know it is a very expensive city. I assume a very busy city. So I assume a lot of traffic, and there's not going to be much bike riding unless it's in a park or something.
Well, making videos, it's given me so much joy. It's been such a cool experience to be able to share my own experience, to connect with others, to learn from others as well. And you know what's really ironic is that here in San Francisco, I've always wanted to become a teacher. But because it's so expensive here and teachers don't make a lot, I decided to go a different path. But because
I get
of
that.
the Netherlands, I kind of changed my career to become a teacher, trainer for organizations. And in a way, I kind of became a teacher on the internet as well. So I would like to continue teaching, sharing, and learning, but things are going to change. It won't be life in the Netherlands, but it's going to include that Dutch perspective. And when I look at my videos, what I'm actually interested in exploring is what makes a good life. And what makes a good life, in my opinion, a lot depends on the systems and cultures that we are a part of. And for me, I'm now heavily influenced by American, Chinese, and Dutch cultures. On one
That's
hand, it's
crazy.
been really
Three different
confusing,
cultures.
but on the other, it's been pretty interesting because I get to choose and pick what I like about each culture
Yeah.
and apply it to my own life. So I want to continue exploring different cultures and systems. And first, I want to rediscover America. I know American culture is everywhere, At the same time, I also think it's one of the most misunderstood cultures out there as well. And
Mm.
for
I
me,
do agree with that. I do agree with that. It is wild. And I understand why a lot of people don't like it. I understand why. But I do think a lot of people misunderstand it as well. I do think it gets a worse rep, maybe an exaggerated rep, than because dang, I mean, we do get a bad rap, but we do have a lot of issues over here. But I'm gonna stay tuned to this channel.
being away, it made me realize how much I miss about American culture. But at the same time, it made me realize how broken certain parts of the system are as well.
Agreed.
And so I want to rediscover America, who I am, with this new Dutch and European lens as well. I'm sure I'll have more reflections to share sometime, but for now, I just want to say thank you to the Netherlands. I'm extremely grateful to have had the opportunity to study in a place like Maastricht, and
So
I was
awesome.
able to change and find a career that I love. I'm grateful to have lived in a place like Maastricht and Amsterdam, two very international places where I met people from around the world, diverse cultures and people that changed the way that I saw the world. I'm grateful to have experienced living in a place with world-class urban design. I walked, cycled, and took public transport everywhere, and it's amazing. I'm also grateful to have slowed down.
I
You know,
feel
I didn't realize how fast I was running until I got to the Netherlands. The Dutch way of life is indeed a slower pace of life compared to the American way. And it's not to say one is better than the other, but it is indeed slower. And I was able to slow down. And now I also realize and understand why the Dutch are some of the happiest people in the world with one of the highest qualities of life.
yeah.
I'm also grateful for people that have watched these videos. You know, I never planned to make YouTube videos. It
Yeah.
just kind of happened. During COVID, there was
Yeah.
nothing to do, so making videos in a way gave me purpose, life.
That was the same time I started my YouTube was COVID. Because like you said, there was nothing to do. Like my work was from home and there wasn't much work to do because we worked in with schools and the schools were all closed, so it wasn't much for us to do. And so there wasn't in YouTube. Yeah, same as him. It just kind of fell into my lap.
Connection when there wasn't any. I think back to that dream I had about 15 years ago of living and working abroad. And while I never expected to be in the Netherlands, I'm glad things worked out. It turned out to be a dream come true. And I have a pretty good feeling that I'll be out in the world again one day. But for now, I just want to say thank you, dankjewel, and goodbye and tot ziens for now. This is it. It's good.
Cheers to the good times over the past. Dang. Hey. I remember that apartment tour too. I watched that video. I can't believe it. Bits are balling. Cheese sandwich. Nah, we can't have cheese sandwiches. I'm not allowing it. I'm not having it. Needs ham. Can't just have cheese and bread. I need some ham. Turkey, something. Chicken. I don't know. Goes like that is absolutely beautiful. I will say that. It looks like you are in a painting. How? Yo, who like this no man? Overpriced. Oh, Albert High. Oh, dang. Oh, wow. Hey. Oh, my days. The tulip fields. You did it. You crossed it off the list. Man, that was so awesome, bro. I feel now that kind of made me sad that he don't move back. As you got to see those memories that he had in the Netherlands, and you can go through all the videos that he's made. His content is absolutely dope. But dang, I guess all good things must come to an end. Let me know what y'all think. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, check out the next.